All right, everybody, welcome to the Outdoorable Living Show. Today I have Mr. Cody Blake of Legacy Decks and Legacy Decks Academy and what else? Ruck 90 and Buffalo Mentality and all of these different things you're doing.
A little bit of
A
everything.
little bit of everything. A little bit. Tell me, who is Cody Blake? The people want to know.
Long question, I guess, and the long answer. Kind of just grew up in the construction industry. You know, my father's got a construction company. Kind of made my own way. Did some weird things with the bowling industry. Went to college.
Bowling.
Yeah. I was a bowling mechanic for 7 years. Traveling the country, kind of working on machines, and then went back to school and went for engineering and decided to move down to South Carolina and found a great home at Legacy Decks.
I didn't know you were a bowling engineer.
Or not engineer, mechanic.
Bowling mechanic.
Yeah, service technician.
What does a bowling mechanic do?
There is a lot of moving pieces going on behind the masking unit or behind the scenes.
Fun.
And at one point or another, I was managing over 250 machines between a mix of different centers.
Yeah.
And they would call me when things broke and, like, hey, I cannot figure this out. Come out and, get this fixed up and, get me running again.
And why did you go from that, a bowling mechanic, to deck building?
That's another long story. I had moved down to South Carolina. So like I said, my dad's got a construction company.
Okay.
So I've been on the job site in construction probably since I've been around 10 years old. Don't, tell the authorities. But yeah, so been around, framing, roofing, siding, the whole gist of it, deck building for most of my life. And, he's been running a company, seeing the back end of it too.
Sure.
Like I said, did my own thing for a little while and then really just wanted to get out of Ohio.
Yeah.
Really wanted to get away from the cold weather and move somewhere a little nicer. So headed to South Carolina.
I went to Ohio once.
How'd you feel about that?
It was everything I thought it was going to be.
It was gray. It was cold.
It was very vanilla. Like
Whatever.
I went to this grocery store called Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
And I was trying to find some seafood to make a Cajun dish for a group meeting we were having, because that's what grocery stores have.
Yeah.
And I went down the seasoning aisle, and there were like 15 types of salt,
Yeah.
a bunch of types of pepper, and that was about it.
Yeah. I mean, that was the grocery store that I was familiar with growing up.
Yeah.
Was Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
Why you went to Ohio and tried to find seafood is another story. I mean, Lake Erie doesn't have the seafood you want.
I thought they would at least have like frozen fish or something. They didn't even have that. And I was just like, what the hell? I can't make Cajun food out of potatoes. It doesn't have it.
You could try.
No, it doesn't have it. So let's fast forward a little bit.
Yep.
You've been with Legacy for how long now?
I think it's going on 4 years, maybe a little bit longer. I've lost track of time. Time flies when you're having fun.
And what is your actual job title and what do you do? Because your job title is one thing, but what you do might be something a little different.
So at Legacy, I'm currently a designer estimator, and I try to bridge the gap in between sales and production.
Okay.
And sales team will meet with a client, say, hey, they want to do this massive deck. They have this huge dream they want to get accomplished. How can we make this happen?
Sure.
And try to make it in the easiest process going over to production, try to catch everything on the front side before it ends up, just getting sold. And then it's, hey, figure it out.
And then when you're in that process, you're regularly calling me, asking me, hey, we have this Fortress steel framing job. Can I do this? Can I do that? Can I use this bracket here? Can this span that? Can I cut this and do that?
I mean, we're trying to push the limits at Legacy constantly.
You're definitely pushing the limits, and you're being very creative with what you can do and what you can't do, what you should do and what you shouldn't do.
Yeah.
And find a way to make it work.
Mhm.
And I think that's really cool because there's a lot of things you've sent me and a lot of ideas, and I'm like, I don't know how you're gonna do that. Like the curved staircase you did,
Yep.
that was pretty wild.
And I mean, it's just we know what the client wants, and then trying to figure out, between everything we have in the industry, what is the best way to make it happen. And at the end of the day, though, I want something that's going to be there for a lot longer, or that I'm not going to be worried about, having kids, someone else on the deck,
Sure.
and a couple of years down the road, or many years.
When you're not doing that for legacy,
Mhm.
let's talk about these wild things that you do. Like you do these like Spartan races, and you go do this rim to rim to rim thing in the Grand Canyon where you did, how many miles did you do?
46 in like 27, 28 hours.
46 miles in let's call it 28 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
In average of 100 and whatever degrees.
It was a lot colder at night.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah.
And you just do this for fun, just for the heck of it.
Well, I never really caught this bug until I started working at Legacy.
Yeah.
And like going through the LDX experience. Like, I wanted to push myself.
Yeah.
And like test the limits. And then, when I first signed up, like I signed up for the Spartan races. Like it was like the goal at the end of my LDX experience was to do a 5K.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted, just a 5K.
Just 5K.
I did the 5K and I was like, what about 10K?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of grew and grew until the point where I did the Spartan 50K. Ended up with some black toenails and the whole
Yeah.
run of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now like doing the rim to rim to rim is I like challenge myself.
So what I really want to ask you
Mm-hmm.
is, because you and I just had a little challenge, and we'll talk about this in a minute. But when you're doing these things, what is the narrative in your head? What are you telling yourself?
For me, it's a test.
Yeah.
It's a mental test. Like trying to find out what I'm capable of, and you
Right.
don't really know until you figure it, like until you get there,
Yeah.
or until you've reached a point a lot further than you thought you were possible of going to.
Sure.
Which is it's awesome. At the end of the day, you lay down in bed, you're like, man, I never thought I would do that. I never thought I'd be capable of doing it. Like even before I started here, like I never saw myself running a 5K.
Sure.
And now I've 10 times that, or whatever, doing the rim to rim to rim, and it just for me is just kind of just trying to find out what I'm capable of.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, is just
Pushing the boundaries.
yeah, because you set most of the time you set a limit in your head that may not. It's just a theoretical thing that you've placed there without knowing where you really are capable of going.
I saw something. I don't remember if it was a David Goggins thing or where it was, but it basically said, whatever you think your limit is, you're only 30% of what you can actually do. So we put these thoughts, ideas, barriers in our mind of what we think is possible, and what we can actually do is always exponentially more.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've seen that quote, and I mean, it's 100% true. And I try to tell myself while I'm doing this stuff, like, you're just telling yourself to quit right
Sure.
now. Like, just go a little bit more. And then like, I always find myself doing, like when I'm running, when I'm rucking or something, like let's say the finish line is here.
Right.
Like I know the finish line is here. I find that if I put my goalpost across that line,
Mm-hmm.
then I always hit that finish
Sure.
line. Like I find a lot of the times if I am aware of where the finish line is, that I kind of want to
Right.
ease off a little bit as you get close to that finish line. And if I push a little bit farther, I go past it and beyond.
I heard Tom Brady say something one time. It was like, if you train for perfection, excellence is possible.
For an amateur.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like that. So speaking of challenges and pushing yourself and
Oh.
knowing your boundaries, we just had a challenge, you and I, recently, in this other group we're in together. We're in a group called Ruck 90 where we have a quarterly ruck challenge.
Yep.
Right? And there's a little bit of dispute over who actually won and had the most miles, but I'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
And I just want to talk about what that has done for us, for our group, our community. That's a place where I think we go to have other people that can challenge us, and not just challenge ourselves, but have other people challenging us and pushing us of what's possible. Like, some people know I had a set goal to do a certain amount of miles.
Yeah.
And then somebody, Cody, called me out on that goal and said, well, why don't you just do more?
Well,
And-
you actually mentioned, you happened to mention that your next quarter goal was going to be where I was kind of aiming for, and I knew if we started going at it that we'd probably end up there.
Yeah.
So I figured just fast forward your next quarter goal, and here we are.
So what happened? We were 2 months into the quarter already.
Yeah.
And I was trending to do about 320 miles for the quarter if I stayed on my current trend. And Cody was like, well, why don't you just do 400? That's your goal next quarter. Why don't you just do 400 miles? And I'm like, you punk. And then you start posting 10, 12 miles a day. And I'm doing my nice little 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Right. And then you start doing this. And then we get down. And then you pass me up. And I'm just being quiet and just kind of keeping in the peripheral. Right. Just keeping close enough. And then the last day of the quarter comes, and we start the day. Cody is 20 miles ahead of me, like right on the money, 20 miles ahead of me.
I think pretty close, yeah, 20, 15, 20, something like that.
And, we usually post our miles immediately after we're done. So I did a ruck that morning, and I posted like 2.5 miles. And then I did a ruck at lunch, and I posted 2.25 miles that I may or may not have spelled my name wrong. Anyway, and then I went out and I would keep rucking, but I didn't post my miles. And Cody didn't post his miles either.
The challenge didn't end until midnight. I logged my first 5 miles that morning.
Yes, and nothing else. And I knew you did more.
I didn't start again until 5 or 6 o'clock on that night. But it is what it is.
Either way, I won. You didn't win. Maybe on a technicality. I did more miles, Cody won. How about that? I did more miles, Cody won.
There's a guy named Scott Shedfield, I think,
Right.
that has 2.25 miles, something like that. I don't know who that guy is.
I did more miles. Cody won the challenge, but I did more miles. Okay? So, anyway. But in all seriousness, you got me to do a little over 100 miles more than I would have by challenging me and maybe talking a little trash a little bit, whatever. But that's a place we go to challenge each other.
Yeah.
Because challenging yourself is one thing, but it's always good to have people who can challenge you when you wouldn't necessarily challenge yourself.
And I think, there's a lot of it it's more than just the challenging part. Like, we are a lot more connected. Like, before I signed up for this quarter, like, we talked, but mostly work stuff. Now, we reached out to each other multiple times during, some of it was a little smack talk, other times it was just, hey, how you feeling?
Yeah. I can't walk today.
I can't walk today. But like, we're still reaching out to each other, and within the group, like, I'm probably lucky, a lot luckier than him. Like, my network I have a lot of people in our group locally.
Yeah.
And I was joking that, like, I was kind of doing shift changes at a certain point. Like, at first I'd start out and it'd be 3 miles with, Sam. And then
I remember. And then there was this Spencer guy that you were
and then this
rucking with and drinking beers with and sending me pictures.
I can or can't confirm what happened. I tried to enjoy the last ruck, and some guy just, I guess, woke up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and rucked until he went to bed at midnight. I don't know what happened. I just don't think he could count the miles correctly, is all I'm saying.
Whatever. Anyway.
No, but it's been great for like our network. I would say,
Agreed.
all of us getting together, just a little bit of camaraderie, a little bit of challenge, and just, keeping us closer knit than what we would be, previously.
And to continue to talk about challenges and challenging each other and being part of a group, right now, where are we? Lake Kiwi?
Yeah.
And we're in South Carolina, we're in Georgia, we're in Florida. Where are we?
This would be South Carolina.
Okay, so we're Lake Kiwi, South Carolina, just outside of Greenville, and we are at an event called Return of the Legends, right?
Yes.
Return of the Legends, you
Yep.
see? Return of the Legends. So what this is, we have a group of men that are pushing each other and holding each other accountable towards goals in our personal life, our professional life, our mental health, our family situation, our financial health, all of these areas. And we are at our annual event where we're getting together to really push each other to the next level.
And say it's the checkup. I want to say to make sure we're all still on course and, doing the things we should be, and then at the same time trying to find maybe a little inspiration, a little advice, in the meantime.
Yeah. And it's a powerful thing to have a group and a network of like-minded people who can hold you accountable to what you're trying to do in life.
100%.
And
I mean, I didn't have any of those medals on my wall before I did the LDX.
Yeah.
There was none of them.
a lot of people are missing that. And I think that's where, as men, we fall short sometimes, is we don't have that network of accountability to hold us to the standard that we want to have in our lives.
That's 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have people that are driving themselves around or themselves around you
Sure.
to keep pushing for more. And we keep setting the bar higher and higher, just like that was 300 miles. And somehow
Yeah.
we both ended up with over 430 miles.
Yeah. Yeah. Depending on who you ask. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some maybe 438, maybe 439, maybe 437.
I mean, who's counting?
Right. Right. So, what is next on the horizon for Mr. Cody Blake?
I don't know. I mean, sky's the limit as far as like personally and like just the little things I want to do. Like as far as fitness, I'm trying to, before the end of the year, hit the Spartan Ultrafecta. I'm going for one marathon and then the Ultrafecta probably before the end of the year.
Like
So
a weekend or like spread out?
It's in the weekend. So it's the 50K,
You're nuts.
10, 5.
In one weekend.
And Saturday will be the 50K, 10 and 5.
You're crazy.
I mean, yes, partially.
Yes. Yeah.
And then professionally, working at Legacy,
Yeah.
7 years in one. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to just keep going and moving on, growing into the bigger and better things we're aiming for.
Yeah. Well, it pains me to say this,
Yeah.
but I do appreciate you.
It pains you to say that. Come on.
I can't help but give you a hard time.
I know. I appreciate it though.
You would not be happy if I was nice to you and took it easy on you. You would think I was mad at you.
I'm like, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
There's got to be something
So
wrong.
I have to give you a hard time. Right? Well, I do appreciate you. I appreciate you taking some time with us.
Yeah, no problem, man.
We might go get in the water here. I don't know what we're...
This
I think
beautiful backdrop.
Yeah. I think dinner might be ready soon. So appreciate your time. Appreciate what you're doing. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. And
Awesome.
appreciate you, Cody. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
That
brother.
is the Outdoorable Living Show with Mr. Cody Blake of Legacy Decks.